Hi, my name is Ian Dybel. I'm a professional guitar teacher, have been for many decades. I've taught all over the world. I've also been a PhD researcher of the performance mind, which basically means that I know what it takes to get from being a novice to being a professional in any kind of skilled performance. In this video, I am going to show you a simple daily exercise based on a 1950s kind of rock and roll bass line riff. It's the first of many exercises that I hope that you will be able to custom build into a daily routine. Here I'll explain why I've picked this particular riff as a starting point for any kind of practice routine. I'll also be showing variations that you can use depending on your current abilities. At the end of the video I will demonstrate how the actual riff can be made into a much more of an exhibition piece, so stick around for that. I've already uploaded a self-contained backing track for this particular exercise. I'm doing this tuitional part separately because it's just a pain having to sift through chitter chatter every time you want to play along with a backing track. I'm actually at the moment trying to keep fit. Thanks for noticing. And there's nothing worse than sort of starting an exercise routine and you have to listen to them explain why you're doing it at the same time. So anyway, I'm going to always try and keep this part separate, which you'll be pleased about. So here goes. The rock and roll riff sounds like this. And why I've picked it as the basis for this exercise is simply because, one, it's highly recognisable. Two, it follows a pattern of movement that in itself is an important piece of musical theory, but mainly because it teaches good technique. One of the important things about playing the guitar to start off with is to keep this one finger per fret span, and because this riff mainly is going between the first finger and the little finger, it teaches you to keep the hand position with minimal movement. I'll put some close-up footage. This is basically what it's going to look like. So we start with your second finger at the 5th fret. We're playing this exercise in A, that's an A note. You keep your fingers spread out one per fret around that. They should be in line with the string. And you are going to play the 5th fret followed by the first finger, which is at the 4th fret on the next string, little finger, same string, first finger, next string, little finger. You're going to end up with this basically. So you're playing 5th fret, 4th fret, 7th fret, 4th fret, 7th fret, 4th fret, 7th fret, 4th fret. So you're jumping between the first finger and the little finger for most of this exercise. That's what makes it good. You want to keep the fingers close to the strings, minimal effort. You want to be playing right on the tips of the fingers as far as possible, and you want to be playing just behind the fret. That means just the headstock side of the fret that you want to play at. So not back there, you're going to get buzzers. Not over the fret, you could get the wrong note or mute the note. You want to just be behind the fret that you want to play at. And then look at the way my fingers have got gaps between them, and it ends up looking like this. And if you were counting it, you'd count it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. Note as well that I'm using alternate down and up strokes of the plectrum, so I strictly alternate. So down, then an up, then a down, then an up. You're going to end up with something that sounds like this. So the exercise is good for strengthening the little finger. There's a lot of work being done by the little finger as you're playing, you want to be keeping that hand position correct. Fingers spread out. You can't see my thumb because my thumb is around the back of the neck. It's kind of in the middle of the neck, pointing towards the headstock. That's where you want it on a guitar with a skunk stripe like this one. My thumb is more or less on that line. I'm just going to drop my plectrum. So then you can't see my thumb, but you can see the back of my wrist, so the back of my hand, and that's because you don't want to be like this when you're playing. You'll see players play like this when you're playing it. There's lots of reasons for that. You're using a leverage with the thumb, you've got string bends. When you're playing straight though, I should be able to see the back of your hand and you should be on the tips of your fingers. Something like that. And then I said that it's a recognizable pattern of movement that we're going to be following. It's a typical 12-bar sequence, essentially, so 12-bar blues, 12-bar rock and roll. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing the riff in the starting position 4 times. So you're going to be counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's 1 bar. Playing quite slow bars, and 2 and 3 and 4 and so that'd be 4 times. Then we're going to move it to the next string. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but I'm starting from that 5th string position. Play that twice, then back. Play it twice. Then you move up 1 string and along 2 frets. Play it once. Back 2 frets, still on the 5th string. Original position once. Finish on the one where you moved up 2 frets on that 5th string. If you count all that, you'll end up with 12 bars. I'll just do it quickly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That's 4 bars. Another 2 here and 2 here. So we play 8 bars. 9, 10, 11, 12. Typical 12-bar sequence, and you'll find that a lot of exercises, a lot of rock and roll songs, these kind of blues songs, follow this same pattern where whatever riff you're playing, you'll play 4 times in the original position, you'll move it up a string and play it twice, then you move it back again and play it twice, then you move it along, up a string and 2 frets up, it's the 7th fret now, we're at the 5th string, don't know if I got lost there, once, 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 just say that again, 4 times, twice, twice, once, 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 once. So you basically, once you've learnt the riff, you can play the whole sequence. You just have to move it like that. That's 4 times. 6, 8, 9 bars, 10 bars, and there's the 12th bar, and then you repeat again. I did say at the beginning as well that I'd show you a fancy way of playing it. Sort of the actual riff itself is great once you play it kind of in with the chords. So playing the chord and the riff at the same time, which means we have to change how we play it a little bit. I can do a separate video on this, but it's a great sounding kind of. Rock and roll. There are a few variations of the riff that you can try to make it more difficult for yourself or just to keep it interesting. One which is particularly good if you want to practice your up and down strokes with a plectrum is to simply double the notes, so you end up with, so I'm playing a down and an up on each note. Other than that, the riff stays the same. Another thing you can do is you can change that last note. Instead of going second finger, first finger, little finger, first finger, little finger, first finger, little finger, first finger, you can change that last note to the second finger, and you get this kind of a sleazier rock and roll. So you're playing something like that. You could double those notes. So at the end of the day, you can vary, you can to your heart's content. So you can do something like that. And I made it a quicker change piece then. So I hope that's just enough to get you started on this. Hop on over to the backing track. That's pretty self-contained anyway. There's going to be some tab along with that, and hopefully if you get anything out of it, you can incorporate this into a daily routine. It's a great warm-up. This is basically number one of a series of exercises that I'm going to produce, all with self-contained backings. So hit subscribe and you'll be there at the start, and then you'll be able to mold these exercises together. Just pick the ones you like, get rid of the ones you don't like, and they're all going to be there for a reason, so they're all going to be good for you, and hopefully they'll sound great. There'll be some more advanced things coming up. This is fairly basic, great technique exercise, but it's fairly basic. So yeah, please do hit subscribe, because at the moment I've not got enough subscribers to really warrant. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I even? But it's going to be great. So yeah, well, like, subscribe, comment. I'll try and get back to you. Enjoy.